Welcome back to the Keys. When we left off, a community was left reeling with the sudden disappearance of Clarence Clemons, a beloved father and husband recently diagnosed with the early stages of Alzheimer's. Today, in our final episode titled Home, we trace the crucial hours of a search that tests the resolve of a family and the community that supports them. It's now 24 hours since Clarence walked away from the senior center. The Clemons family, together with local authorities, mobilized a search operation that spans the breadth of the city, from the leafy parks where Clarence liked to walk to the stores and areas he frequented during his healthier years. As the day unfolds, the tension escalates. Each passing hour is more than just a marker of time. It's a ticking countdown that weighs heavily on the hearts of everyone involved. Betty. He's out there somewhere, confused and probably scared. It's not like him to wander off. This disease is like stealing him away from us, bit by bit. First, he can no longer drive, and now he disappears? He just walks away? The Huntsville police coordinate the local news outlets, issuing a silver alert that broadcasts Clarence's description across state lines. As the community of Huntsville continues its desperate search for Clarence Clemons, a new lead emerges that reignites hope and sends a ripple of urgency through the ranks of searchers and police alike. Huntsville Police Department, how can I help you? Hello, I was at the Maple Grove Cemetery visiting my brother's grave, and I think I might have seen the man from the news, the one who's missing. He seemed disoriented, walking along the edge of the cemetery near the woods. Can you describe him? Was he an older gentleman, about 78, with gray hair? Yes, that's him. He looked confused. I wanted to approach him, but by the time I decided to walk over, he had wandered off into the woods. I'm really worried he might get lost in there. The dispatcher thanks the caller, ending the call with a promise of immediate action. Within minutes, the information is relayed to the teams on the ground. The location is particularly worrying. The wooded area near Maple Grove Cemetery is vast and easy to get lost in, especially for someone in Clarence's condition. All units, we have a possible sighting of Mr. Clemons at the Maple Grove Cemetery. He may have headed into the woods. I need all available units to converge on this location. Stat. Bring flashlights and prepare for a grid search. The response is swift. Police cars, along with volunteers equipped with search gear, flood the area. The sun is setting, casting long shadows that make the search more challenging, but no less determined. As the search teams prepare to enter the woods, the tension is palpable. Each searcher knows the stakes are high and time is of the essence. The community's resolve is tested but unbroken, their determination fueled by the hope sparked by the last sighting. Understanding the gravity of the situation and the potential lead from Maple Grove Cemetery, Clarence's children, Rick and Ellen, prepare to join the search efforts directly. Leaving their mother Betty at the senior center to receive support and updates, Rick and Ellen drive towards the cemetery, each moment filled with anxious anticipation and a relentless desire to find their father. Maple Grove Cemetery, with its sprawling acres and adjacent woods, represents a formidable search area. As they arrive, they see the police and volunteers have already established a command center near the entrance. We need teams to start grid searches through the woods. Be thorough, use your flashlights, and mark areas you've covered. The terrain is tricky, and we can't afford any oversights. Rick and Ellen quickly join one of the search teams, their faces set in grim determination. They know the challenges ahead, yet their hope is undiminished, a testament to the bond they share with their father and their faith in the community's efforts to bring him back safely. Ellen. We're going to find him, Rick. He's out there, and we just need to keep looking. Rick. We will. We're not going anywhere until we bring Dad home. As they move through the cemetery and in the dense woods, the darkness begins to envelop them. The beam of their flashlights cuts through the night, a symbol of their unwavering resolve. With each step, they call out for Clarence, their voices carrying across the quiet landscape, hopeful for any sign of him. This is a time of true test of endurance, hope, and deep familial love that refuses to yield to despair. The community, united in purpose, continues the search under every bush and every tree. As the sun dips in the west and the shadows appear, Clarence Clemons, separated from the familiar and lost in his growing chill of uncertainty, finds himself in an increasingly precarious situation, alone, confused, and now hidden in the shadows of the deep underbrush near Maple Grove Cemetery. He senses, rather than sees, the passage of time. Clarence, in his mind clouded by the fog of Alzheimer's, can faintly hear the sounds of searchers not far from where he sits. Clarence! Clarence! Their voices calling out, searching for him, should be a beacon of hope, but to Clarence, they sound like echoes from another world, one he can no longer fully grasp or respond to. Clarence. I can hear them. They're looking for me. I should be shouting, waving my arms, anything to draw off their attention, but my voice is like trapped inside me, just out of reach. Everything feels so heavy, so difficult. Maybe this is it. Maybe this is how my story ends, not with a bang, but with a whisper, here among the whispering trees. I think of Betty, of Ellen, and Rick. Did I tell them how much they mean to me? The thought of them waiting, hoping, is like a weight on my chest. I've had a good run. I've seen beautiful things, shared incredible moments with people I love. If this is the end, I'm not angry. I just wish I could see them all once more, to tell them everything will be okay, to tell them not to worry about me. As their search intensifies, Clarence drifts between the present and the comforting memories of his past, his mind betraying him in so many ways, still holds on to the essence of who he is, a father, a husband, a man who deeply loved and lived fully. But even in what seems like his darkest hour, the human spirit's resilience flickers like a flame in the wind. Hope is never truly lost, and as long as the searchers continue to call his name, there is a chance for a reunion, a chance for Clarence's story to continue. As search teams comb the area around Maple Grove Cemetery, let's step back in time to walk beside Clarence Clemons during those crucial moments when he decided to leave the senior center. Here, in his own words, we explore the inner workings of a mind caught between the past and the present, between clarity and confusion. Clarence. It was just another afternoon, or so it seemed. The center was full of noise, but none of it felt real to me. People were laughing, playing games, but I felt like I was on the outside looking in. There was all this buzz around me, but it felt distant, like it was happening behind a glass wall. I saw the door ajar, just a crack, letting in a sliver of the outside world, and suddenly I had this overwhelming feeling of needing to be elsewhere, to be somewhere else, anywhere but here. I thought of my garden, the roses that might be blooming without me to see them, the bench where I used to sit with my Connie on cool evenings. I stood up, not really planning what I was doing. It was like my feet knew where to go, even if my mind wasn't sure. I just walked towards the door, walked through it, and kept going. The air outside, it smelled like freedom, like the days before all this confusion started to cloud my mind. As I walked, each step felt more certain at first. I was convinced that if I could get to my garden, if I could just get to my garden, I could sit there and everything would come back to me. I could remember what it felt like to be myself again, not this shadow of a man that everyone sees now. But the further I went, the less familiar the roads became. The faces I passed didn't fit into the jigsaw of my memory. I started to feel lost, really lost, not just misplaced. And that's when the fear set in. Had I made a mistake? Where was I really trying to go? I wanted to go back, but I couldn't remember the way. It was like being caught in a fog, one that wouldn't clear no matter how hard I tried to shake it off. I was scared, but not just for myself. I was scared because I knew I was causing worry. I didn't mean to. I just wanted to find a piece of the world where things made sense again. Clarence's journey, marked by a fleeting moment of autonomy, quickly becomes a labyrinth of confusion and fear. As we return to the present, where the search teams are mobilizing and the community's heart beats together in hope of a safe return, we were reminded of the delicate balance between seeking freedom and the safety we sometimes take for granted. Huntsville Police Department, Sergeant Miller speaking. I think I saw the man you're looking for. He was walking down by the river, looking lost. You know the river over there by the cemetery? The tip leads a team of searchers to the banks of the river where the autumn leaves carpet the ground, a mosaic of gold and amber, a beautiful yet bittersweet backdrop for the search. All units, check the river and back of the cemetery. We just got another call that someone spotted Mr. Clarence Clemons. 10-4. As the search party approaches the river, heartbeats of Clarence's family quicken. Hope mingles with dread. Hope for his safe return. Dread of what might have happened. Over here, we found him. Clarence is discovered sitting quietly by the riverbank, a place he and Betty often visited during their early years of marriage. His face, confused at the fuss around him, lights up with the recognition as he sees Ellen and Rick pushing through the crowd. Dad! Oh my God, you're safe! You're safe! The reunion is tearful, a poignant scene of relief and reaffirmed bonds. Clarence is safe. But his ordeal has left its mark, a stark reminder of the challenges they face as a family dealing with Alzheimer's. Clarence is tired and dehydrated. They call for a stretcher and they help him out of the woods, and Clarence is transported to the hospital. Ellen and Rick drive back to the senior center and pick up their mother and head to the hospital. In the weeks that follow, the Clemons family takes decisive steps. They increase Clarence's care, ensuring he has constant companionship, and they make his environment as safe as possible. They also join support groups, finding solace and strength in shared experiences. When a family member is diagnosed with early Alzheimer's, it's crucial to take proactive steps to manage the disease and support the person affected. Here are some actions families can take. 1. Education about Alzheimer's disease. Learn as much as possible about Alzheimer's symptoms, progression, and care needs. Understanding the disease helps in managing expectations and planning for future changes. 2. Establish a care team. Assemble a care team that might include family members, friends, health care providers, and Alzheimer's care professionals. This team approach helps distribute the caregiving responsibilities and provides better support. 3. Legal and financial planning. Consult with legal and financial professionals to make arrangements for the future. This includes setting up a power of attorney, living wills, and exploring long-term care insurance options. 4. Safety measures. Implement safety modifications in the home to prevent falls and injuries. Consider using GPS devices and other technologies to track and locate your loved ones if they wander. 5. Routine and structure. Establish a daily routine that the person with Alzheimer's can follow. Routines can help reduce confusion and provide a sense of security. 6. Stimulating activities. Engage in activities that stimulate the mind and the body. This can include puzzles, music, art, and physical exercise tailored to the person's abilities. 7. Support groups. Join support groups. where you can connect with other families going through similar experiences. Sharing with others can provide emotional relief and practical tips. 8. Regular medical care. Maintain regular checkups with healthcare providers who specialize in Alzheimer's to monitor the disease and progression and adjust care plans as necessary. And 9. Caregiver support. Caregivers can also seek support for themselves, whether through family, community resources, or professional help, to manage stress and avoid caregiver burnout. Would you like to have more information about Alzheimer's? We recommend the Alzheimer's Association at alz.org. They offer comprehensive information on Alzheimer's disease, care strategies, local support groups, and a 24/7 helpline. As we reflect on today's episode and the journey many face with Alzheimer's, it's crucial to remember the importance of self-care, especially for those who give so much of themselves as caregivers. That's why at Take Care Time, we've created the Take Care Time Respite Box. Each box is thoroughly curated to provide comfort, joy, and a much-needed pause in the busy lives of caregivers. Whether you're caring for a loved one or you're a professional in the caregiving field, our Take Care Time Respite Box is designed with your well-being in mind. This holiday season, we're excited to introduce a special edition of our Respite Box, featuring a delightful gingerbread man theme. Imagine the sweet aroma of gingerbread cookies filling your house, comforting the embrace during the chilly winter months. Our holiday gingerbread box includes everything you need for a cozy night in: a festive cookie cutter, a mug with hot chocolate mix, gingerbread man-themed socks, a cozy gingerbread-themed mystery book for you to enjoy, and other gingerbread-themed items for your respite time. Give yourself, or a caregiver you know, the gift of relaxation and joy. It's not just a box, it's an experience that says, take a moment, breathe, and enjoy. Visit takecaretime.com to order your Take Care Time Respite Box. Do you have an interesting caregiver story that you would like to have told? Please email us at podcast@takecaretime.com. We would love to hear from you. Please note that this episode features reenactments and dramatized details. While in most cases the exact verbatim dialogue may not be known, all dramatizations are grounded in research. To respect the privacy and confidentiality of individuals involved, names and some identifying details have been changed. Until next week, take care.